Dylan Casson became a member. Dylan Casson celebrates 38 months of membership. What's up, guys? Haven't been on streams lately, been busy working on the bike while watching the stream right now.
What's up, Dylan and everybody else? Yeah, I was saying last stream I realized it's finally started to read off the members' chats, which I love that. So, but yeah, good to have you back. Do I got focus? Yeah. Yeah. Looking decent. I was just watching a YouTube video of a guy who was using Canon lens from the same era. And it was focusing completely on his mic and not him. And I'm wondering, I'm like, is that similar then? Because he was like, had text on the screen that said, maybe Canon will find the human boy in 40 seconds, and then he has a countdown. So that's how I feel using it. And I'm wondering if it is like this legacy adapted glass might be part of the problem. So I don't know, maybe I'll try some modern Canon lenses next time. So the other thing is, I hope we don't have an issue with the stream. YouTube told me to change the setting, then I changed it, and then it gave me all these errors, and it won't let me change it back, which is super annoying, obviously. Follow their advice, and then it's like, don't do that. So, but I cannot figure out a way to change it. Anyways, Dylan's been a member for 38 months. Shit. But what's up, Obscurity Jacob? A lot of new people in here. Peekaboo, Logan Tron, Jason Scott, Waldege. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Wald IJ. But you're asking about the cameras. I have a bunch of cameras, but most of my videos still have been like riding videos are the GoPro 11 for the most part. Like I said, I got the Osmo 3, but it's only made a few small clips so far. So, what's up, Rock Eastwood? Metroid X88. Yeah, I've talked about the 360 cameras on here before. I think they're really cool, and I think they're especially cool if you want to use them more for social media because they're really easy to reframe and stuff like that with your phone. I don't want to add that layer of editing to my workflow. It'll just slow me down too much. So even though I like the idea of capturing everything and I think they're cool to reframe like that, it's just not something that I want to mess with. I don't know. Probably because I come from the photography world, I'm used to just pointing at the camera at what I want to. So, but I do think it's cool. I have a friend, Scott, who does all kinds of social media stuff with like his Instagram stuff, all with the 360 camera, and he does really cool stuff. But yeah, it's not for me right now. Plus, I even though they released the new one.
Pudgy Pedal Pusher became a member. Pudgy Pedal Pusher celebrates 38 months of membership. Dylan hates Tim and Keith should have a Gravba video.
Trying to open this beer. It's actually really hard for some reason. Oh yeah, but even the reviews of the new 360 8K, the quality still just doesn't look as good as GoPros or especially that new DJI I got. So. Not that most people care about that stuff, but I can't help it. I do. So, this is one of the beers I picked up in Youngstown from Noble Creature. This is their hazy IPA, the Overcast, 7%. Let's see if we can get. Oh yeah, awesome brewery. Really good food. Really cool space in an old church, and the beer was awesome. This isn't the beer I would drink there because they specialize in wild ales and sours and stuff. But when they had a number of 6-packs, me and Ben each bought one and mixed them up. So, what's up, Cycling Brian? And obviously Pudgy. Do you see any resolution to fix this? Resolution?
You're not streaming in 4K?
Oh, it just took it down to 1080.
It's 1440.
So it took it down to 2K? Interesting. So that's what it does. If you switch to low latency, it just turns it into 1080. Why'd it make me do that then? Whatever. Doesn't matter. We're not doing anything that needs to be in 4K here anyways, but so. Two thick scoops. I've only ever had one bike computer in my life, and it's the Wahoo Element Bolt 2. So it's still the one I'm rocking. I guess I'm probably about 3 years deep on it. So, yeah. I like the Wahoos because they're super simple. I fully understand why. What is it, Edmund? Oh, he's running around chasing bugs and meowing. But, yeah, I understand why people like the Garmin's and the touchscreen. And I guess I don't understand why people like the... what are they, the Kamoots, which don't use apps and stuff like that. That blows my mind. But yeah, I like it simple and small. I just want something to either give me navigation or that basically record Strava. So works for me, but I'm not I'm not a fanboy of any of them. So yeah, I would only go with a Garmin or a Wahoo though, in my opinion, from what I've watched on the YouTubes. So what's up, Nathan Mace? Wes said, I'm pouring a brew, you're loading a bong hit. There's a lot of people around here that are probably loading bong hits right now. Metroid, you said you use the Bolt 2 also and like it. Yeah. Pudgy, you said the Roam V2 is on your list soon. Yeah, there's a couple features that the Roam has that the Bolt doesn't, but now it's been a while. The version 2. So the V2 of the Bolt kind of leapfrogged the original Roam, and then the V2 of the Roam came out and added a couple features. I believe it has, maybe it's even a faster connection with the satellites. I think it updates a little quicker, but yeah, I'm surprised. I don't know, Is anyone else surprised that, like, I mean, I know Wahoo does a lot of different kinds of stuff, and they've also been hit by the downturn in cycling, but I'm really surprised they haven't put out a new bike computer. Not that I would upgrade till my battery life became a problem, but it just seems like, well, I mean, like I said, I think I've had the Bolt 2 for at least 3 years, and it wasn't exactly brand new when I got it, right? So, I don't know. I mean, I guess, if they sell a lot of bike trainers and stuff like that, that's probably bigger money. But again, with the downturn in that industry, like, bike trainers being like after post COVID not selling that well, you think putting out a new bike computer would be something they would really want to do. I don't know. You look at Garmin and how many they have and all that stuff, but who knows? I'm definitely not an industry insider. Wahoo's rival watch is a letdown for you. Yeah, I know. I know that Dylan was riding with just his watch for a while, or I can't remember if he still are. I really like having like the stuff right in front of me, but it's all personal preference. I do like seeing how fast I'm going and the navigation that way. So all personal preference. But I've never tried to ride with a watch. When I was still running, I used to run with a watch, obviously. What is that dude doing?
I don't know.
Oh, is today Willie Nelson's 91st birthday? Just in relation to the bong hit. But Willie quit a while ago, right? Cycling Brian, you said you were given your Garmin as a birthday present, would probably purchase a Wahoo if it wasn't already used to the Garmin interface. Yeah. I don't think it could go wrong with either one. They're totally different. They're similar in a lot of ways, but different like philosophies, where Garmin throws kind of all kinds of features at it. Wahoo very slowly has been adding features over time. They actually just did a huge update to the version 2 of the computers, where you could Bluetooth control a lot more stuff. Your music. There were 3 things. The music's the one that stood out to me. What's up, Michael Stark? I can't imagine, Pudgy, that Wahoo's doing very well. I mean, I'd have to think most of Wahoo's money was coming from the bike trainers, and I'm guessing they scaled way up during the pandemic to sell a ton of them, and then had to lay a bunch of people off. So I actually read somewhere that they were having some issues, but I don't know how extensive it is. I don't know is Wahoo publicly traded? Can you look at their numbers? I have no idea. Dylan, you said you're half and half right now. Half cycling computer for some rides, half the watch. Yeah. I feel like the watch would be fine unless you're really trying to navigate, because and that way I feel like, well, it depends on also the terrain you're navigating. If you're bike packing, doing off-road stuff, I wouldn't want to have to look at a watch for my navigation. But it's no big deal on a road or just gravel tour to see the directions there. But I feel like whatever you get used to is going to be what you lean into, especially with the brand differences. But like I really did go with the Bolt because I wanted something small and minimal. But I totally understand, the Wahoos are not touchscreen, why someone would want to be able to pinch and zoom and do all the phone stuff on their computer. Pudgy said, the computer is severely lacking in mountain bike tracking compared to the watch. Yeah, I've heard about that before, that they're not as good. I know they've tried to update them a little bit, so. Hey, what's up, yeah, Greenbrier has been on our list for a while because, I've gone down the North Bend Trail once, but my group of friends that goes down every year has been talking about doing the Greenbrier this year. It won't work out with my schedule, but I still really want to do it at some point. Everyone says how amazing it is, so. Oh yeah, Stage's power meters just went out of business. I did see that. Kind of a different, I don't know what else they did. Did Stages do anything but power meters? And it's got to be a tough market when, it's so easy for the big brands to integrate them into their stuff already. But that's not my world, as I don't, that's more for, road racers or just racers in general, right? Oh yeah, then. So is Kona really out? Everyone's saying Kona's out of business, or is it that they're up for sale or something? I've been, as you guys, if you've been following, just know my this spring has been crazy work for me, so I'm seeing headlines, but not always getting into all the stories that I would normally have the chance to follow. So. Yeah, and then YouTube titles are always, sensationalist or clickbait to get you on there before the information. So I've seen all that, the death of Kona and all that, but just haven't delved into any like actual industry articles. So, Bearded Cyclist, what's up? You said Wahoo is a private company. All right. Wes, you're a Garmin guy. Yeah. What's up, Buffalo? So, Nathan said Kona hasn't announced it yet, so it is just kind of. Yeah, is Kona independent? I feel like. I feel like when I was at Higher Ground 2 years ago, I was talking to the Kona rep, and they were part of a bigger California company. Am I right about that? So. That's what I felt like. He was a Kona rep, and they were owned by someone else, but he was saying they kind of got to run independently. So I wonder if it'll be kind of more of like an all city situation where that company's just trying to cut the brand loose. I don't know. Hey, what's up, T Rick? Oh, this is a Swift cap. It's one of their from their camp out 2 or 3 years ago, probably 3 years ago. So. Yeah, Pudgy said Kona hasn't said anything, but why would they wait until they have to? Yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering why the news is leaked everywhere then, too, First all city was shut down, then possibly Kona. And that's what I feel like it would be. I could be wrong, but like I'm saying, I think Kona is owned by someone bigger, so it could just be someone shutting them down like they did all city, and there's nothing, they're not an independent company that's going out of business. They're just a brand that's being discontinued. Like, Kona got bought by Huffy, and they're going to be called Co-Huffy now. Metroid said they were bought by Kent Outdoors in the pandemic. So a couple of Logan said that too. So that would make sense. Yeah, I don't know anything about Kent Outdoors. Fat Albert said it's interesting because they just launched a new bike. That's what a lot of people have been confused about, and I guess in a way I am too. Like how QBP announced they were shutting down All City, but they have like a full year of new All Cities coming out and special editions and different paint jobs and slightly different variations of the models. So, yeah. Yeah, Kona Rogues. I know a lot of people like Kona Rogues. Isn't that also is Kona Rogue what the main bike of our one friend, Josh Romero, used to be Stoked on Spokes, I think, rides a Kona Rogue. Chris, hello. I'm glad you are here. Good evening. Mark said, the news leaked about Kona because of Sea Otter weirdness with their tent, taking it up and putting it down before the event. Huh. Oh, that's interesting, T-Rick, calling the Swift cap like a welding cap, because I have actually been at a local bar here where someone asked me if I was a welder, and I had no idea what they were talking about. And then I looked it up and realized that cycling caps and welding caps are similar. So. My wife, F.E., rides a roller bee. A roller bee? What's a roller bee? Sounds like a job for you, Dave. Josh has a Rove, and Urban Donkey has a Rove. All right. Metroid has a Rove DL. So was Rove, or Rove, was Kona, so Kona was completely independent before they got bought during the pandemic by Kent, and so they were one who would suck it out, or did they get sold from one company to another? I could probably also Wikipedia that, but Bouncing Bike Life, what's up? He said, I hope Kona doesn't go under. They sponsor Cycling About from Australia. He makes some really good world touring videos. Huh. I'll have to look that up. I haven't seen that before. Cycling About. No, that's popped up in my feed before. For sure it has. I'm not sure if I've watched the videos or not. Sounds so familiar. I want to check it out. I think maybe people have shared those videos in the Discord. And I think I've told you guys, I don't watch as many cycling videos as I watch photography stuff. So some of you guys who make them, I try and pop in on as many as I can. But I am subscribed to Cycling About. Oh, and that red bar shows that I've watched this video, so. Oh, really popular channel, huh? 222K subscribers. In Canada, he's called Cycling a Boot. Cycling a Boot, eh? Did you look up something for us?
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah.
It's either a sliding glass company or a foam roller.
I'm guessing it's neither of those.
I'm pretty
Unless it's a joke that goes over our head, which would definitely not be the first time. Hey, what's up, Donald? You said all the trails in Cincinnati are back open from the spring flooding. Yeah, I saw some trails that were way underwater. I don't know why. We seem to do all right. The Cuyahoga Valley didn't flood that bad with all the stuff we had going on. I mean, the river was really high. The bike and hikes had a couple flooded sections. In Cuyahoga Falls even, like out towards the Arboretum and stuff, it was flooded there. And then under the bridge, I think where you guys are, did you say Monroe Falls was taken over from you? It was flooded under that bridge for sure.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it definitely came over the bank in some spots.
And then going into Kent, a low spot before that boardwalk, it was all flooded. We had to go around. But yeah, the towpath didn't flood that. Yeah, I'm surprised the Cuyahoga Valley didn't flood with all that raining. But I'm sure in Clinton, the towpath had to be underwater. It goes underwater every spring.
Matthew Tita subscribed to the channel.
Yeah, must have got it a little worse down there in Cincinnati. Sliding glass, final answer. Oh, Columbus trails were way underwater. That's interesting because Columbus seems so much more protected from flooding than some of the other river towns, just because the river is so channelized down there. But Fat Albert said, what's cool is category creating bike brands. Example, Surly, Fat Bikes 29 plus, and the first mass marketed single speed. What's next? I don't know what's next. I think the ATB is what's here right now. I don't really feel like bike brands are branding them as much as ATBs, as much as culture is, though, or it's kind of building them out to be that way. I mean, even if you look at my Gunner, which is probably, was thought to be a bike that would be built with drop bars, and I made it with sweep bars, and so it's now an ATB or whatever. I don't know. I'm thinking of buying an extra cycle free radical attachment for my bike. I don't know what that is. You want to look that guy up? Well, I think what I'm guessing, not to put words in Fat Albert's mouth, but single speed wider tire bikes. Like, because you're right, there's a lot of bike brands that, I mean, track bikes have been around, and single speeds are the original bikes. But I'm guessing he meant like wider tire single speeds. Was anyone doing that before Surly? I'm not saying no one was, but was Cinelli really making anything beyond track and fixie style bikes that were single speed back in the day? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, every brand had a track bike. Every European brand had a track bike for sure. Peugeot, name them, Kaunago. Did Kaunago have a track bike? I think I've seen some, but yeah, Fat Albert said single speed mountain bikes. I do think that's got to be unique to Surly early on, but I know Pudgy knows that category well too, the mountain bike stuff. Extra Cycles is like an extended cargo bike. Oh, you attach it to a normal bike to turn it into a...
No, the extra cycle is the bike where it's like a cargo bike. The back wheel's way out here. The free radical thing is the pannier.
Ah, huh. I wonder if is the company just not doing well? Did you find an actual company page?
I think they still make the bikes. I don't think they make that bag or attachment thing anymore.
I'll put you saying originally you added it to a normal bike. Mark said Surly started from the single speed scene there in Minneapolis. And even isn't that what Jeff, when he created All City, weren't they more like fixed gear single speed bikes early on, before branching out more into the gravel stuff? So Metroid, I had a Trek T1 when you used to ride fixed. Yeah, the 1x1 was called the Rat Ride originally. I think speaking of Jeff from All City, I think he just listed one for sale on his Bike Jerks account. Was it a 1999? It was an early Surly. It had the 1x1 decal on it, but it was early. I think might have even been a prototype. Saw it in passing. Like I said, I've been super busy, so I've kind of just been glancing at stuff in the morning or when I'm making dinner or whatever it is. I've seen the one you add to the bike. Super cool. Yeah. All City was his Alley Cat race originally. Okay. Oh, Logan has one of the attached ones. I have an extra cycle paired with a mountain bike frame. Picked it up real cheap on Marketplace last year. Been pretty happy with it. I'll drop a pic in the Discord. Cool. Josh Hayden, what's up? You said Kona was doing single speeds in the early 90s? Were they wide tires? Yeah. Early Surly, say that 10 times fast. Rivendale's working on a single speed. I've known folks who like long tail cargo bikes, not known anyone who's used an extra cycle attachment. Always been curious. Yeah, I'm surprised that that's something I've never heard of. I guess I'm not surprised. I've never heard of a lot of shit. I do want to look. I'm gonna look up Jeff's. Is this? I can't remember if this browser is logged into my. Oh, it is. Good. Let's see. Bike Jerks. I really think it was just today that he posted a picture of one of the first. Yeah. Let's see. A new to me pre-Surly Rat Ride circa 1998, one of 100 built according to Maxway, bought from just over the border in Wisconsin, equipped with the rare Surly blower drive. I'll have to see what that looks like. I know Jeff has said when he left QBP in All City, they made him give back any bike that was a prototype, so it's kind of interesting. Josh was saying Kona was making single speed mountain bikes in 1993. All right, I wouldn't have guessed that was a category back then, but I was in 8th grade, and I think I was still riding a Huffy Mountain Storm. So the biggest piece of shit. I've already talked about that on the stream. So. Yeah, so Josh, it sounds like some people are saying they're kind of cool. So. Oh, Chris, what's up? Chris said Extra Cycle is a pretty cool long tail, but man, is it janky with a load. Huh. Probably really depends on what with the attachment, what you put it on, right? Too. So if you had the right bike with real long stays, you'd probably do a little better. But oh, Chris said he's talking over 100 pounds, so it's serious load. So. I can't get into this argument about who was doing them back then because I have no idea without looking up that. I'm old, but I'm not that old. Enlightened, you said, when bike packing you carried so much gear in your aluminum Peugeot that you affectionately called it donkey. Oh, Chris, you were saying that the first mountain bikes were single speed. I guess not the first. I mean, when you say the first made mountain bikes, are you talking about like people turning like the clunker era when it was just the dudes who were converting old bikes into mountain bikes? Because those were single speeds, and I guess the first mountain bikes, but I mean, again, anyone could debate all this stuff till the end of time, but yeah. Okay, that's what you're saying there, Pudgy. First single speed was a clunker. But yeah, again, that's just people hacking bikes together on their own and riding down mountains. I get it that that's where mountain bikes come from. But would you call that the first mountain bike? I don't know. You know, I've made titles of YouTube videos where I take vintage bikes and squeeze wider tires into them and say I invented the gravel bike. I would consider, you know...
JMZ 555 became a member. JMZ 555 celebrates 37 months of membership. What's up, gents? Keep on keeping on. Tell Rick hello.
What's up, JMZ? I love that our British accent actually says Z instead of Z. Thanks for the 37 months too. Yeah, and again, I'm not taking a side on this. I'm just saying, like, what people want to define as the first mountain bike is kind of up to them. I mean, you know, whenever I talk about early gravel bikes, someone's going to bring up that the Tour de France was all written on gravel roads originally with balloon tires and single speed bikes. So, you know, yep, it was, and clunkers were the first scene of mountain bikes, and a lot of those guys went on to create the companies that build actual mountain bikes. Yeah. I guess there's a definition to who's the first person to market a mountain bike, who's the first person to market a single speed mountain bike. You know, those would be different topics or different for the nerds of the category to look up to. I've definitely watched the documentaries on Clunker and that whole Marin County scene and all that stuff too. So, hey, what's up, Garrett? Said advice for riding Blackfork for the first time. Try and survive. It's tough, especially if it rains like it's showing it's going to now. It's way too early in the spring to stick to a forecast, but yeah, put it in an easy gear and try and spin up those hills. I don't know. It's a tough ride. I mean, I've gone from riding. I rode that on a drop bar, gravel bike, and now I'm going to be riding it with 55 millimeter tires in my sweet bars. And if I had a dropper, I would definitely use a dropper. So. Cycling Brian, you said, I'm picturing that a flexi chromoly frame wouldn't be the best option for an extra cycle. Yeah, speaking of Marin, I would definitely not want to hook one of those onto my Marins. It's a super, super flexi frame. So. Sean, you said, I had a Huffy White Lightning. It had brush guards for your hand, like some dirt bikes do. Huh. Yeah, my first 2 bikes were Huffy's. Little Huffy dirt bike, and then my Huffy mountain bike that was a hand-me-down from my brother. That was, like I said, I had it over here at the studio a couple years ago. I was going to give it to charity, and then I decided this bike is a hazard, and I put it out for the scrappers. So I'm nostalgic about a lot of things. Not that bike. That was a bike that made me want to have a decent bike. It was a real POS. Mass Bruce, you said you had a Huffy Sonic 6 BMX with gears. Huh. Fat Albert just has a way with words. Josh Michaels, you said you have an old salsa a la carte frame you want to put it on. But talking back to the topic of the first mountain bike, Fat Albert says we were talking about mass marketed bikes, not what some freaks were doing in Cali in the 70s. That's kind of what I was getting at in a roundabout and attempt at a pleasant way to say it. I agree, Pudgy. I guess I still say that people could have a different. I just agree that people could have a different opinion on whether that is what someone would really consider the first mountain bike. It's definitely where the mountain bike scene comes from. But again, they're like hacked bikes, just like joking that I don't think when I hack together a vintage bike with wider tires that it's really I'm inventing the gravel bike. But what do you think, Dave? Why you wade into this?
I was thinking about Burton and snowboarding.
Burton and snowboarding?
Yeah, you can't, like, I don't know the actual story, but you can't glue 2 skis together and go down sideways and call that a snowball.
Yeah, true. And people have said the same kind of thing about skateboarding, right? They're, do we want to look at the Back to the Future type thing, like where the guy rips the top off the scooter?
Oh, yeah.
That guy's name is Michael J. Fox. But there were, people had screwed roller skates into a board, and they're the first skateboards. Would you say those are the first skateboards, though, compared to like the stuff that actually came out in the 70s and people were skateboarding? Right, they're proto-skateboards, right? Just like the Dandy Horse is the proto-bicycle. Is it a bicycle? Yeah, it's 2 wheels that you push forward. But it's not it's a proto-bicycle. It's a pre-bicycle. Clunkers are proto-mountain bikes, I would say. That. I like that. I'm going with that. Clunkers are proto-mountain bikes. Fight me on that. Garrett, I don't know if that was good enough advice for you to thank me. Yeah, Pudgy's right. Low gears, take it easy because it doesn't get any better. I've talked about this about Blackfork. It's really annoying, but if the first 3 hills are really brutal and a lot of people walk them, if you think you're capable of riding them, it's an annoying thing. If you go out slow, you're going to be stuck behind those people. So it's like, to go out and try and pace yourself is my mentality for a hard ride like that I'm not truly racing. But it's also annoying to be behind people who just jump off their bike in front of you without saying anything. So, and by the way, I am going to say this. A lot of people about Blackfork got annoyed about my video last year because I talked about cycling etiquette. about if you're just going to blast around someone, like at least announcing yourself. And people got on my case like, well, it's a race. You don't just give yourself away. I'm like, if you're around me, you're not in the race, you know? But then I also said, Ames, who was here last week, was like, no, we do that for each other. We point out stuff. We say that we're passing. We don't, you know, obviously in a key moment in the race, it might be different, but nobody's trying to hurt anybody. Like, everybody is friends. The top racers know each other in Ohio, too. Anyways, I talked about that. I talked about people walking up the good line. And I was saying how it's really annoying at Blackfork because there'd be people walking up right, like with their clipless shoes right up the good line because it's obviously easier to walk there. And I said, it's bullshit. You should get out of the way and let the people who are trying to ride it. A lot of people got pissed at me. Blackfork, in their email yesterday to prep for it, said everything I said in my video. And I'm not going to say they said it because of my video. I'm just saying there's a good chance they said it because of my video. You don't think the organizers watched the most popular video on Blackfork on YouTube? I mean, they probably did. It doesn't mean it's because of me. It's probably because a lot of people were saying the exact same thing, and I just put it out there publicly, and it annoyed all the people who don't actually understand being cool, you know? So, anyways, it's my little rant, and oh no, lost my camera. Did we lose both of them? Dave, little help?
I'm seeing if. Do you have audio?
No, audio's still
Yes.
looking good. Yeah. I think it just needs to be unplugged and plugged back in. Oh, so Pudgy was saying the Huffy Sonic 6 wasn't truly a BMX, but let's see if that brought us back. No.
Turn the camera off and on again. Reinstall the battery.
What? Did I kick the battery out? No, I'll just go to GoPro for a minute. Bearded Cyclist asked if I'm riding the e-bike around any. I actually haven't too much lately because we really haven't been having good weather, and I've just really wanted to ride. And also Blackfork is Saturday, as we've just been mentioning, so I've actually been trying to get, because I haven't had much time, so anytime I'm riding, I've been trying to ride without it. So still plan to do the review video, still want to have more friends ride and talk about it, but I haven't ridden it around too much lately. So, but definitely more intentions too. I have more gigs coming up where I want to ride to work and not be sweaty, especially as it's getting hotter out now. So back to the extra cycles. Eric Anderson said he's seen someone with a Surly with the aftermarket e-bike conversion and with 2 kids on the back. I was really hacking a lot together. So, hey, what's up, CJ? Tim is following Proto. There's nothing like a bunch of nerds debating the beginning of any kind of genre. And I don't mean this as offense to anybody. It's just all of us. So, like, I have my opinions, but I know they're their opinions. So. Sad, you said a badly timed evil twig from hell flipped into the derailleur and promptly turned your first mountain bike into a single speed. Back in the day of non-replaceable hangers. I've had that happen. I've ripped derailleurs off 2 bikes with sticks, one being my Raleigh, and my Raleigh does not have a replaceable hanger. It's something I actually want to get cut off and rewelded by a frame builder, because that bike's, obviously, I love that bike and the way it fits. So something I need to do, because I've had the hanger straightened a number of times. It hasn't ruined the hanger, but it just doesn't have a lot of integrity, and I run such an extreme range of gears on that it doesn't stay. It just bends a little, and it's never quite right. The gears can't ever be indexed perfectly anymore, it feels like. So Garrett, you said no. You said thanks for the etiquette. I appreciate it and watched your video again the other night. And then they said it in the email. They did. I know. Yeah, stagger the different mileages. Yeah, Blackfork would even be one that might benefit from. I don't know. I could imagine that being a race that would eventually go to corrals like Barry Roubaix does, just to split it up a little bit. But yeah, starting the two different rides at different times would just even 5 minutes, not even five, 2.5 minutes would be enough. And again, I was really surprised by like the people who were like, you're usually so friendly to newbies and now you're talking like this. I'm like, did you listen to the words that came out of my mouth? I was saying like, I understand that some people just, you can't ride the hills. And I understand when there was a guy who went down in front of me, and it was because he was clipped in and he didn't expect to go down. He thought he was going to make it. Shit happens. I'm not saying like when you're on a ride, stuff doesn't happen. I'm just saying walking up the good line, or when there's just two of you out on the road and you're going to pass someone way faster just to give some kind of audible signal. Those are just normal things you can do. But yeah, I wasn't saying that newbies should know every little bit of bike etiquette and stay out of everyone's way when you think you're trying to ride up it and you're trying to make it, and you don't. Like, I'm just saying there's definitely a level of respect. Once you fall down or once you slip and you put your foot down, move quickly out of the way if you're not hurt in any way. If you've just slipped going 2 miles an hour, move out of the way. That's come on. So many people ride alone and I guess just don't think about it. So that's why I like to say this stuff publicly, not to shame anyone, except the people who talk back like thinking that I'm wrong, because I'm not, But yeah, if you don't know, you got to learn somehow. I never used to point out potholes or say on your right or, passing or any of that stuff. I learned it by people telling me to say it. So. Pudgy said he put a picture of the bike we were talking about in the. Oh, we got a couple of the extra cycles too. So, where'd you post that, Pudgy? I don't see it. Anyway, here's the. Josh mentioned extra cycles in the live chat. Here are pics of my extra cycles paired with a Think Trek mountain bike. Oh, I don't have it up on the screen. Oh, yeah. I'm definitely going to look into this more. I just kind of want to see how this all connects. That's kind of cool. I dig it. I can see why someone put an E conversion on there too. Yeah, so you must have to run two chains together and everything, so it hooks up through the axle. Huh. I'm glad this came up. I've never heard of this stuff. Oh wait, where are we? E-bikes are fine, but it's not cycling. That's total bullshit. It's totally cycling. If you're talking about a bike where people just ride it around with a throttle, you could say it's not cycling. Pedal assist is cycling, and you're just flat out wrong if you say it isn't. So you're just wrong. It's a fact. You're wrong. I've been riding an e-bike as someone who's only ridden bikes my entire life. A pedal assist e-bike is cycling 100% of the time. So what's up, Dimitri? Yeah, a lot of people with my back problems have recommended recumbents. Where I ride, I would be way too nervous to ride one. I could see going down to the trail and getting on one, but the streets around here, there's no way I would leave from like the studio on a recumbent. I would just feel way too stressed out with the traffic we have. Oh, Pudgy said he posted his photo in the stream channel. I checked that but didn't see it. Oh, there it is. It was a screen cap. Wait, why does it look like that? Pudgy, what kind of weird ass picture did you watch? Why does it have me in it? Oh yeah, I could definitely see why that would look like a BMX like you were saying. It does. Oh, it's a big picture. So. That does look like a BMX, right?
I would have thought it was a BMX, yeah.
Huh. Pudgy said it was definitely a gray area because it could be considered a geared BMX, but that's not really a thing. Yeah, I'd never heard of one, so. Oh yeah, Pudgy, you're only on your phone. I forgot. So. Do you know what the word cycling means, Fat Albert? Do you know what the word cycling means? I don't think you do. You're the wrong one here. If I'm riding a bike under my own power and it's just getting assisted, how is it not cycling? Do you know what cycling means? What's up, Robin Real Life? You said, love those extra cycles. The original Free Radical is the best in your opinion. They're not made anymore, but you usually be found for around $500. So. Huh. Yeah. I've never seen these like weird geared small bikes before. Small. SMOL. Are they just small mountain bikes? Yeah. But Racer said he had a couple years ago and gave it away. Couple similar oddball mountain bike hybrids. One is a Schwinn Thrasher. Huh. How could you compare a scooter to a bike, whether it has a motor or not? A scooter is nothing like a bike. You push with your feet on the ground. I just don't get it. I don't get that stupid fucking attitude about e-bikes. It's so fucking annoying. Sorry, Fat Albert. I really hate that opinion. I think it's dumb.
Like a scooter. Like a moped scooter.
A moped scooter? That's nothing like an e-bike. That doesn't have a throttle. Like a Vespa?
Yeah.
You don't pedal a Vespa. You pedal a pedal assist e-bike.
Well, now you're
That's not pedantic.
You're splitting hairs here.
No, I'm not cycling. Cycling is pedaling a bike.
Unless you're not pedaling the bike.
But you have to pedal assist bikes, so they don't go anywhere.
Well, see, you're clarifying pedal assist.
I did. I said throttle is a different story if you want to debate it. What does this blue thing mean? I'm not in live chat. I'm gonna fix that. Oh, I don't know if I missed anyone's comments. I was not in live chat.
I was wondering why you were skipping a few. Nothing crazy, but.
Oh yeah, I did miss a number of comments. Oh well. I haven't forgot that for a long time. Rob, it really didn't like you. It skipped all your comments. Rob, chased in. Sorry about that. Fatty got sent to the corner. Yeah, Ed Zachary said, pedal assist isn't stopping anyone from 100% effort. No, you just get there faster. I said in the video where I was riding it home from my parents' house, it was awesome. I rode just as hard and I got home way faster, and I would have driven my car if it wasn't for the bike that day. So, wow, I missed a ton of comments with this being in the top chat. Mechanical doping BMX. I'll pull up some comments, but still try not to get too far behind tonight. Yeah, what a hill to die on, right? I just don't get it. Some people just have such a weird attitude about that stuff. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I just think every e-bike is better than every car. So. Chris said they were doing a ton of that, 20-inch bikes and 26-inch bikes. Made them look like dirt bikes or giant number plates. So, said a couple more pics. Yeah, definitely a category I was not familiar with. See if I can move my face out of the way. Rob said the fair BMX bikes were for time downhill runs. There were all sorts of BMX variations in the early years. Anyone remember the Metaloid? No. Benjamin Barron asked, as a Peugeot guy, have you ever run across any of the Canadian Pro Cycle models? No. I know there were those Canadian bikes for a while, but I've never seen any over here in person. You said you had a mid to late 90s Triathlon 105 and can't find anything about it. When searching, definitely wade into those like closed, like those forums that no one's commenting on anymore. That's where I found a lot of that information. A lot of the photo links don't work anymore, but when you're Googling, or even just, yeah, the ones that look like those old message board discussions are usually where I found that kind of information. The other thing is you can find catalogs a lot of times, and that's where I've also got nailed down like colorways to figure out what year my Peugeots were. So, yeah. And then if you've never looked, I would also check. It's always worth checking out. What's his name? What's the famous dude with the weird helmet? All the information about bikes.
Oh, Brown.
Brown. That's his first name.
Sherrod.
Sheldon Brown.
Sheldon.
Maybe check Sheldon Brown as a resource too. Yeah, CJ said, I only use my assist if I need to. I have no throttle. And that's how I've been when I ride the e-bike. It's making it actually hard to review. I need to go out and ride it and figure out what the range and all that stuff really is beyond the stated thing. But on the flat, I really like my e-bike with no power on. It's totally fine. And then just kick it on from red lights, stop signs, or on steep hills. But or like I said, when I'm just trying to get somewhere and I'm not actually trying to, I don't care. Dimitri. Go to your local club ride on a pedal assist and tell me how it goes after. Ed, I will never go to a club ride. I have no interest in those, but it's fine that people enjoy them. But yeah, I go to your local club ride on an actual cool steel bike, and I'm sure you're going to get chastised by people for not buying a $10,000 carbon bike. Who gives a fuck about those people? People just jerk off all over carbon. Ah, you didn't buy 10. They sell them at the store. You didn't do anything special. You didn't build it. You've never even worked on that fucking bike. You know? We're going to like, I just hate when people like that act like shit is so cool. All you did was buy it from the store. Like, all those guys are so fucking weird. Yep. All you did was buy expensive kit. Who cares? I could still keep up with you on my fucking gravel bike. You didn't do anything cool. You fucking bought a bike from a store. Make something for once in your life. Then you could fucking brag about it. Riding fast on a modern fucking carbon bike? Like, I have no problem with carbon bikes. I have a problem with the people who think, like, club ride people. Yeah. Who are going to rip on people. Like, I just have friends that's happened to, like Ames, who was here, who could ride just as fast as any of those fucking people getting ripped on for showing up on our All City. You know, those people were just embarrassed that somebody on a couple $1,000 bike could easily keep up with them and drop them half the time. So whatever, triggered me. Good job. I don't even feel bad about that. Someone clip that and post it and unsubscribe if you want to. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, JMZ, I think this is a lot of what we've chatted about, though, with new users to cycling in any aspect are, then just like I was saying at Blackfork, are a lot of times not the best riders. And that needs to change. It's just that a higher proportion of e-bike riders happen to be newer to cycling and never rode, and a lot of them never rode a regular bike first, so they don't have the etiquette. It just needs to change. But I think like you're being concerned the opposite is happening. So like New York is widening a bunch of their main bike lanes because they want more people on e-bikes. So we'll see, but like just like anything, enforcement will need to catch up, regulation will need to catch up for a lot of the bad batteries that are out there and stuff like that. But I just don't see it as a negative overall. I see it as a positive overall. I think we're going to get more bike infrastructure because of more people on bikes, not less. And I don't think the laws I just think it's going to be better overall, but there's always a curve. I mean, you look at cities that were designed for people walking and horses, and when cars came out, what chaos it was, and then the traffic light had to be invented, and it's just that kind of shit, you know. So I think it'll work itself out, and I think it'll work itself out for the better, even though I understand there's like growing pains with any kind of new technology in general. So nobody likes getting blasted by someone on an e-bike who doesn't know what they're doing, especially on a quiet trail. It doesn't say anything. It's frustrating. I'm not saying we call out those people too. I mean, I definitely yelled at people, but it's not the bike, it's the rider, and that doesn't matter what kind of bike it is. You know, I see those kind of people, just like the kind of people I was talking about with the fucking stupid expensive bikes who put aero bars on them and then ride down your local bike path like they have a right to be going 25 on it. Like, same thing. You go through a populated area on anything, you are responsible for controlling your vehicle, whether it's electric or whether you've bought some super expensive bike and you're blasting through it in skin tight clothes. Like, that's up to you to be the person in control of your bike, and it's wrong either way. So yeah, cycling, Brian. Tons of comments on the videos about people just saying like health issues, but there's other people saying like, if you have no health issues, why would you ride an e-bike? And a lot of good comments have come out about that. Like people just saying, I would have driven to the grocery store, but instead I could ride my bike, or I had to go to work and there's no showers where I work. The e-bike makes it so I could ride a little lighter and not show up sweaty. And that's what I was saying with summer. I think there's definitely going to be times where I need to get to a gig and I can't show up being a total mess, and the e-bike will be the perfect tool for that, especially once I build it out. Like I said, I want to make it have a little more cargo capacity for what I'm going to do with it. So bouncing bike life said unicycles are the only true cycle, handlebars are for pussies. That's also been a thing for a lot of like early on, like the guy who founded the Tour de France did not think there should be gears. He thought the gears were cheating. Like there was a total thing till what, I think 16, 17, maybe even a little later, when they finally allowed you to have a flip-flop hub so you could have 2 gears to ride the Tour de France, you know. So I'm bounced. Tim was triggered. I'm easily triggered, but I'm on one lately, so yeah. Yeah, Chris said other cyclists aren't your enemy. Yeah, did you guys watch that interview with what's his name? Ferguson from Richie on Pathless Pedal? That was really interesting. I thought about like what they have coming out and some of their interesting stuff, and just a little bit behind the scenes over at Richie too. I really enjoyed that. So where is Edmund? Edmund, why isn't he on my lap? Be a lot cooler if he was.
It's probably the last 10 minutes of your furious
Oh,
rant.
yeah. Dave said, oh, you guys hear him. He has a mic. Me just ranting out loud. No, that doesn't bother him. He watches me work on my computer all day and scream at that thing.
I've heard you have a hiccup on your computer from the other side of the studio.
Yeah. Now it's all right. Now anything that goes wrong, I just blame it on it being a Macintosh. So, in general, works so much better than any of my Windows computers ever did. It's like fucking Mac. It's like that fucking SRAM clip. Might as well keep cussing. I've already cussed enough on this stream. I don't have monetization on it anyways. All right, let's get back on track here. Who do I want to go off on next? Oh, people are saying Sheldon Brown. Oh, that's how far behind. Now I got to hear about everyone talking about my rants. All right, yeah. Yeah, Josh Hayden, right on, 100%. So. Yeah, Rock Eastwood, Giro d'Italia coming up. I'm always sad when the classic season ends because that's my absolute favorite. But yeah, and then the Giro starts and I'm like, oh, I love this race. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I haven't looked at who EF is really bringing. I know GCN will have their big preview show on Wednesday. So yeah, and everyone should be announced. Does the race start on Thursday, May 4th, right?
What?
The Giro d'Italia, I think, starts on May 4th.
I thought it was the second. Fourth sounds about
Second?
right.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, everyone knows what the Tour de France is. That's a grand tour. There's 3 of them. The Giro d'Italia, the Tour de France, and the Vuelta a España. And the Giro is the first, so it's the Tour of Italy. So, and it's probably my favorite. It's probably usually physically the hardest, but the Tour is always the hardest just because it always brings the most top level. And it's the big money. So I wonder if since it's in 1080, if I could shrink this down. What happens? Sorry, I'm just playing around with things. Oh yeah, that's a little. Well, that's still really weird. Who knows? Oh, because the camera's in 4K, but the stream's in 1080. Josh said you're checking out the Salsa e-bike this week. Nice. Oh, what? We got Otis up in here. So, said, I ride with a lot of e-bikers and they sometimes use throttles. They learn groups ride skills, handling skills, and sometimes ride regular bikes. I would say they're cyclists even with the throttle. Yeah, I agree. I guess what I was saying when someone's going to argue that point, I'm like, there is a point, like, if you look at New York and there's a delivery driver who only ever rides an e-bike with the throttle on, I give Fat Albert the benefit of the doubt that that guy is not a cyclist. You know what I mean? Whereas someone who has a e-bike with a throttle and uses it occasionally and also rides other bikes is a cyclist even when they're riding their e-bike. So I guess that's kind of my views on that. Eduardo says, I show up on my old 1990 steel bike to a club ride and everyone likes to ask questions about it. Nice. I guess one of my big things is like I just started riding with a group of people who did not care about what bike you were riding. We all wanted to get along. We all were people who rode together because we got along with each other. So I just don't come from this world of elitism, cycling world of elitism, or caring about the style of bike. I come from people who all want to ride the same way. And originally it was riding fast and drinking beers, and that was it. So, and anybody was invited, and if you just couldn't hang, or if you didn't like the fact that once in a while people stopped in a farm field and smoked a joint, then don't come back next week, you know? Uh, Dirty River said the salsa eat cutthroat is amazing. Oh, Otis, I forgot. He brought this by just this morning. He couldn't stand from my e-bike video watching me try to cut the plastic straps off. Brought me a park tool that's made for nipping stuff like zip ties without having the sharp edge on them. So, and also the nippers for like cable housing as well. So. Logan saying kind of similar thing here. Your shop ride or a big spread. Yeah, I guess like when people say club ride, they're usually referring to like a very roady ride. And again, this is just a generalization. It doesn't mean it's always true. It means it's generally true. Where people are very snooty and I don't know. There was just even a big thing this week with a friend of ours who had posted about their new team and some people writing shitty comments about leaving this other team, and it's like, your shitty comment is the reason people have left your team. Like, you're just all serious and no fun, and bikes are supposed to be fun. As Chris FYB said, just stop trying to gatekeep bikes. It's the weirdest things. And again, I have no problem if people want to go out on a club ride and they all want to ride fast and they want everybody out there to understand paceline etiquette and keeping a certain fast speed. I'm not against that. Like, it's talking about pro racing is something I love. It's not the way I ride, but I don't have any problem with that. I just have a problem with doing that and then thinking it's the only way to ride a bike. It's actually the least popular way to ride a bike. So, Dimitri got the Canadian, has to break off to go watch some hockey. Which, there's a lot of American hockey watchers in here too, like Pudgy. But you guys all start talking about hockey, and I'm like, I'll let that go on its own because I have nothing to add to that. If it isn't the Olympics, that's it. That's the only hockey for me. Oh, Racer, you said Bike Farmer just made a video about helmet shaming. I'll have to check that out because we were talking. I can't remember, Racer, were you in here last week when we were kind of talking about, as we were phrasing it, helmet Nazis? I'm really going to either up the ratings or tank the channel with this stream tonight. Huh? Thanks, Wes. Oh, here comes Edmund. Right up here, bud. Hey. Oh, he's going to Dave. He's going to Dave instead. Let's see. He's just going to look at you?
Mm.
Hey, right here. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Do you remember what that's from?
No, but
It's when it was it Rumsfeld? When they announced they got Saddam Hussein. Ladies and gentlemen,
oh yeah,
we got him. I took acid that day. It was wild. It was a blizzard. Do you remember that? It was a blizzard out. It was winter in Ohio. They captured Saddam Hussein. I ate some acid with Pete and Trumbo. Oh, got you, Ed. And I wasn't trying to get on your case either. I get on my tangent about that, as you guys have noticed, or my soapbox, I guess I would say is the right word, about the pedal assist thing. Salsa Tributary, is that an e-bike mountain bike? Ah, Pudgy, I'd love to hear that too. Yeah. It seems like the group you guys would have over there would be like that, so. I won't unsub. Take a sip. Nice, Donald. Yeah. And Racer said, "I'm an old man with young kids. I see an e-bike in my future." Yeah. My brother, since I let him ride the e-bike, and now he's talking about riding to work. He's someone who's had some health issues too already. Like already, we're not that young anymore, but and he's like, "Oh man, this is I could ride an e-bike instead of driving to work." And this is someone I would not think would be as much considering the environmental impacts or anything like that, but it is a huge environmental impact too. So, you know, that's why I wanted him on the channel. And like I said, I've turned down all the really cheap looking Chinese ones forever. I took this one not because I need an e-bike, because I think it's a conversation to have, because so many people are closed-minded about it, and a lot of people have already said from seeing the videos it's changed their mind. So I appreciate that. Yeah, Cam T said, some people ride for fun. E-bikes are fun. Feels like you're always bombing downhill. Is riding downhill not cycling? Yeah, 100%. And I agree, cycling, Brian. I think that's another thing is where it's like, you just said no one should have to justify it. I agree. You don't need to justify it. You don't need to say I don't want to be sweaty. You don't need to say I have a bum knee. You can do whatever you want. Like, I don't know what, like I was saying, like no other sport does this. Like runners don't shame people when they go out for an easy hike. They're not like, oh, you're just hiking today. You just put on your hiking boots. You're not running a marathon today. Like I just don't understand why like not so many, a percentage of the cycling community feels the need to, like Chris said, gatekeep cycling. Like it doesn't matter. Cycling to most of the world is transportation. Like it's a way to get around. So I really don't understand it. I get like nerding out like we do on little like fine details about it and making jokes. But at the end of the day, like that's what I was saying too, with the infrastructure and everything else, the more bikes, the better. The less cars on the road, the better, so. Oh yeah, Christopher Webb. Because again, it's just that whole idea of people have this image of what a road bike needs to be now, and it's just spending a lot of money on top end stuff by the major brands, and I think it's kind of ridiculous. I know there was a ride a couple years ago that I guess it's not in here tonight, or maybe he's just watching and not commenting, but Large went out on, and there was a lead group, and they were all flying, and he was just on his all city gravel bike, and Micah, who's been on the stream, was saying it was definitely getting looks. There's no doubt about it. Those people thought, the people have been, it's marketing. They've been brainwashed into thinking that you can only go fast on a high-end carbon race bike. The thing is, most people aren't going fast enough that it makes that difference. Yes, if you're racing in the Tour or the Giro or Paris-Roubaix, you should ride the fastest bike that exists, because all those people are so fast, those little differences matter. And if you're talking about a bike race that's 3 weeks long over mountains, and in crosswinds and all kinds of different situations, the bike is going to add up when you're talking about all the highest level athletes in the world. Just like swimsuits matter in the Olympics, and technology matters in that stuff. To normal people riding in the high teens and low 20 miles an hour, it doesn't make that much of a difference. Your drafting and your position on the bike are going to make way more of a difference than the weight or the shape of the tubes on your bike. It's just a fact. What were we talking about? God, I'm so right sometimes. It feels so good. Sean said, going to ride my brakeless fixed, and I sell Avatons to old people. I love both. Nice. I just had Wes's comment up there, too. Cam, back Toronto 1. What did I miss? I thought you guys were talking about the playoffs like a month ago. Isn't the hockey over yet?
Hockey playoffs just started not too long ago.
Oh, so they were all like excited about the lead up to the positioning in the playoffs, I guess. Yeah, that pathless pedal, to get back to that, I mentioned a while ago that Racer's bringing back up with Richie, definitely made me like them even more. I've always thought they were unique and cool bikes, but Sean said, but F Walmart and Amazon bikes, yeah, I've gone off on it too. I'm personally not a fan of mail order only bikes and all that stuff. I understand some people don't live where there are good bike shops. I still feel like the brands that sell through shops, I don't know, they have more of an obligation for their bikes to be able to be fixed by regular people or mechanics, but just my opinion. Yeah, Rob, that's something I've noticed. I don't know if I brought it up in any of the videos or on the streams, but one of the things that I felt when I was riding the e-bike in downtown was that acceleration makes you so much safer because it's just like the principle of getting on the freeway. Like, you need to be going fast because everybody else is going fast. And you get behind someone who's going slow getting on the freeway, you're like, what are you doing? You're making us like sitting ducks. I felt the same thing, riding in New York City. The faster I rode, the more safer I felt. And the e-bike gives you that same thing where you could get up to speed so much faster. So it does make you feel safer when you come around a corner, especially in like unfriendly car or bike areas. So, I turn onto a street that doesn't have any bike lanes and I only need to be on it for a minute. I've loved being on the e-bike in that time where it's the only time I've actually turned up the pedal assist beyond the first click because I'm like, I just need to get through this as fast as possible and turn down the next street. So. Oh yeah, Eduardo said the Montebello is that a new Richie they're coming out with that they showed at Sea Otter. So I said, Tim, did you pour a pint of True Serum in your beer? No, just beer is the True Serum itself, and we usually don't drink that much on the stream anymore. Rob, you said you haven't been watching the races much this year. In all truth, the women's World Tour has been much more exciting than the men's. Not to take anything away from some of the races and how good like Vanderpool and Pogacar have been, Pogacar, however you want to say it, but it's just when someone attacks from 40, 50, 60K and wins the race, it's impressive, but it's just not exciting to watch. So. Yeah, Racer said, e-bike argument is like disc versus caliber. So tired, ride and let ride. Yeah, I agree. I've never understood that, like people getting on a high horse about one or the other. I have talked about that. I do think there are now, and just people watch this channel, there's a lot of younger people who never rode rim brake bikes. And so there's been I just feel like there's a vibe to people who've never rode them that they were crazy and dangerous. And it's like, there are horrible rim brake bikes out there. They're actually early disc brake bikes that are horrible as well. But there are really crappy rim brakes that don't stop you much. And if you buy a vintage bike that was like a lower end bike, the brakes suck. But like I said, the 9-speed era Dura-Ace caliper brakes I have on my Schwinn Peloton, I put them up there with any mechanical disc brake that I've ever ridden, including clampers and including the Grotech Equals. So, and those aren't even the top of the line, when they went to direct mount. So the idea that rim brakes are somehow always all bad or always all dangerous is just not true. There were really, really good rim brakes. And also, they were riding the Tour de France down mountains on really bad ones in the 20s, and only a handful of people died. Man, I'm so good at this, guys. It's probably because I have Edmund here now. So it gives me the confidence to say what I want. That makes no sense. Can I get a hiya?
Oh my god.
used bikes. I've seen a couple of your comments pop up, but yeah. The new e-bike gravel bikes are supposed to be extremely seamless shifting and continuously variable shifting. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Even just being a rear like hub drive motor on that one I got, and not even that, and just a fairly inexpensive one, sub $2,000. Like, I'm impressed by how smooth it is. That's a single speed, but it kind of just kicks in with the more you pedal. But yeah. Oh, racer, that's interesting. Yeah, like I said, I haven't been riding the e-bike because I've had limited time, and I've tried to maximize it, especially with having a super tough ride coming up on Saturday. But there are plenty of times when you have an e-bike where you're like, man, I could just ride that. Like, I could get there way faster, if I ride that. But yeah. Yeah, Otis can't stand to watch me do dumb stuff. So, unless we're riding bikes and he's had a few beers. So, I need to look up the helmet shaming video by what's his name? You guys just bike farmer, bicycle farmer, bike farmer. I did watch his interview with Passless Pedal too. I've only watched a handful, not even a handful, 2 or 3 of his videos. So. This guy just let out the biggest sigh I've ever heard. It reminds me of that. Have you ever seen that cat meme that says, well, my cat's eyes is like, what's troubling you, little guy? Laying around all day and eating food?
I haven't seen that.
What are you looking at?
See how far back you are.
Oh. Am I way back? Bike Farmer did a vid without a helmet, caught hell, and then fought back on his next vid. Gotcha. I was saying this. I rode Road Apple one year. I forgot my helmet, and nobody said anything to me, and I can't believe it. So.
You're really far back.
Oh, really? I got to catch up. Easy to spot the helmet Nazis with the pointy spikes on top. Hey, what's up, Jesus? I haven't talked about Rust Belt riding at all. I just, like I said, a lot of times I write a title and a description thinking if the comments don't take me somewhere, that's the direction we'll go. Instead, I'm just going off on everybody tonight. What does the vegan cyclist think of pedal assist? Where's Common Birds or Mile High when we need them? Yeah, saying Brian, that's the same thing too. I wear my helmet all the time too, but I don't care if anyone wears it or not.
Wes Cheslak super chatted $4.99. What is cycling? Cycling just good fun on any bicycle. Pedaling will assist or not. My voice is funny.
That's awesome. All right, I'm gonna try and fly through here without going off on any rants. Get caught up, and then what time is it?
A little after.
Oh wow, we're really burning the time up quick. That's how I am. I wear a helmet. It's up to you if you want to wear one. I think you're crazy for doing mountain biking if you don't wear one, but it's still up to you. Yeah, Cam T said e-bikes finally push in the right direction for infrastructure, so yeah. Right on, CJ. Yeah, again, yeah, Josh, like building up all kinds of different bikes just for fun, just to try them, or whatever you like. So, John Smith said it does hurt my fragile ego to be passed by an e-bike up a hill. Oh yeah, I am way back. What happened? Just rants?
Just rants.
Just rants got me behind. With the price of some of these new e-bikes, especially e-bikes, I don't understand why theft isn't an epidemic. Depends on where you live. In some places it is. So. Single speed is the lightest drivetrain. Man boobs help downhill. Oh, people are looking up the Richie. Otis said, okay, cars versus e-bike question. Burning gas versus lithium-ion battery. Lithium-ion battery. There's negatives to it, but it's not nearly as negative as burning gas. Plus the overall amount of material that goes into something running a lithium-ion battery, and cars are moving towards lithium-ion batteries anyways, just a ton more than a bike would have in it. So, oh, you timed Fat Albert out for the whole night. So moderators are allowed to do what they do. Don't question it.
Don't question it.
I meant I don't question it. Like, I've given them that authority. So I know some people have been just timed out for a minute, sometimes for 5 minutes, and then sometimes for a night. Dropping truth bombs in the Rust Belt, part of it looks like it's been bombed anyhow. That is true. Yeah, definitely. There are definitely issues with lithium-ion, but the places that they're mined from and all that stuff. But again, when you look at what this world has done for oil, it's still a drop in the bucket. I mean, we're not recolonizing places for lithium-ion. The West has colonized the world for oil. So. Acrorex, 18 mile per hour where drivetrain loss drag was equal to the aero drag. Gotcha. Facts. If you drop 10 to 15K on a bike, you feel like the bike should do the work for you, but sadly you still got to pedal 100%. Oh, interesting, Josh. I didn't know. I did not actually know that they were recyclable, because some people have claimed that that's a big problem with them, is they're not. So that's. I'm on an old steel, so my 56-year-old retro couch gets passed a lot. Yeah, sad, or are you sure it's the steel bike, or is that just what you want to tell yourself? Or is it just your 56-year-old self, you know? That's what I've realized. I'm not getting passed because I'm riding a steel bike. I'm getting passed because people are just faster than me. This is a good question for I will see what Otis said. Does wheel weight make a bigger impact than overall bike weight? I have been from the camp that I feel like faster wheels matter more, but I know some people don't agree with that. But you said wheel weight is huge for rolling resistance, so. Yeah, Cycling Brian, you said you ride rim brake because it's what you have, but your new bike will have disc. It's hard to get a new bike that doesn't have disc. So. Chris said need some beers for next Tuesday. Do you mind beering me, Dave? I feel like I'm on a roll here. Need to keep it going. Don't want to run out of fuel. I think I only have a strong beer left. But whatever. I'm not driving. Yeah, it's interesting, Acrorex, because some races I've seen really big mistakes by the women's teams that have like made the racing more exciting. Like there's a couple times where SD Works should have it in the bag, and I just felt like they were just bad tactics. But that's, again, you're right. Like overall, between teams, I do feel like the working together has had a bigger impact. But some teams have had really confusing. It's like the radios weren't working or something. But it's my opinion. Edmund is the least active mod. Yeah, Christopher Webb, true. Older carbon is definitely not, like I said, you do need to worry about it, especially if it was lugged. So I just don't like the idea that it's not I mean, the older ones, they say the newer ones are supposed to be better, but carbon isn't forever. You break it, it's like very hard to recycle. It's hard to fix unless you have a specialist. So, oh, what do we got here? This is the long blinks. Come on. There we go. That's a 9.5.
That's the only two left in there.
Yeah. Let's really ramp up this discussion. I do prefer rim brakes. Super easy to work on. They only really suck in the wet rain mud snow. Yeah. My snow bike is a rim brake bike, and don't really have a ton of problems with it, but I guess there have been times when it's been so cold that they haven't been working, but that could have been a problem. Disc brakes, mechanical ones, especially or not even mechanical ones, you can get ice in the lines and all that stuff too, so. I think about the bicycle farmer thing, I think he hit his first viral video by being controversial, and he's leaning into that to try and hit those numbers again. Yeah, I don't know. That's YouTube. It's the YouTube world. So, Mr. Natty would like your newest post in the Discord. Oh. Wow. I think, yeah, Bike Farmer seems like a nice guy. I think the same is probably true of Fat Albert. He's probably a real nice guy in person. He likes to get some arguments going and is definitely very opinionated and could be a little more tactful about the way he says stuff. And so can I sometimes. I usually start off good at that. But thanks again, Wes, for the super chat. Dectacion? Dete? Probably more like Detecion. I don't know what a double C would sound like, but welcome. From Argentina. Nice. Bike Farmer wants to be Rubat said. I feel like Bike Farmer wants to be the practical version of Old Show. Have you seen Bike Farmer yet, Dave?
Yeah.
I'm lately the faster than thou peeps on freshly carbon turbojacks. Yeah, I feel the same way. Bike Farmer's hit or miss for me. Like I watched the one where he went out on just like a riding vid, and I think he does better at talking head stuff, to be honest. Maybe I need to spike on. Yeah, you said you like his rant vids. I do think so too. Soul 3N. Can I put more bike checks in my ride videos? I want to do that more. even on the last few bike tours, I brought my microphones with the intention of doing that, about setups and all that stuff. The whole thing is to remember is I make YouTube videos, but I'm not a YouTuber. And so a lot of times when we get out riding, I just want to have fun and I don't want to worry about it. So it's one of those things where I'm like, it's something I want to do. And then everybody around me has to be in the mood too. So there's been times where me and Erin have been out riding. I'm like, hey, let's do a bike check. And she's like, I don't feel like talking to camera. And that's it. You know, I'm never going to push someone. If we were getting paid and our trips were covered, they would all also be way more willing. But if you guys follow my Instagram, you see they're willing to stop and let me take photos and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Yeah, mining lithium is actually horrible. But, yeah. I'm just saying when you're comparing it to the alternatives, like, I mean, look at what we've done for the last 100 years to the world for oil. But, you know, I said when you look at anything in isolation, you could show it, and the right wing loves to do this. They love to pick something and zoom in on it and then say, like, look at all these horrible things about windmills. And it's like, are there negatives to whatever goes into certain parts of, like, windmill production? Yes. Is it still better than oil and gas? Yes. Solar, does it have some of its downsides? Yes. Is it still better than oil and gas? Yes. You know, so. Lately calling out turbo. I like the term turbo jocks. Ooh, yeah. Argentina. That's Spanish, right? Yeah, not Portuguese. But unfortunately, I do not. Tim Mese por. Tim for Asa Jada. I don't. Yeah, it's beyond my Spanish comprehension, which is pretty weak. I have 3 years of Spanish from high school, but it's been a while. Only content creator to use Rust Belt as clickbait. I'll take it. Oh man, everyone's gonna go Spanish on me now. Cycling Brian, you said you do like to find the lowest rolling resistance tires for your bike. I agree, and I don't mean, but I mean over a broad category of terrain, which is why I always say I love the tread pattern on the Rene Earths, and I know you guys are sick of hearing me talk about them, but that's the thing I love about them is they still feel like they roll reasonably fast on the road, and then I still get the traction on the gravel and the dirt when I need it. So that's why they're my favorite tires. But Dirty River said wheel weight matters in acceleration, but humans can't accelerate very fast, so quality wheels roll similarly. Huh. No, you're right, Racer. And that's the other thing with like lithium ion and electricity. Once we get the grid cleaner, then batteries also become a better thing. Because right now, I always say, even this thing where I live looks super high tech. It runs on coal. Right here where I live, it runs on coal. That's not a great thing for the most part. But the grid can be cleaned up way easier, you know, than, like you said, having a bunch of polluting cars on the street. And even if it equated, we are moving it away from people in general now. So, Ed, you're drinking a Racer 5 IPA at 7.5. Yeah, this is actually a Belgian, I believe, a Belgian-inspired triple. So, did you know Pudgy spoke Spanish? All right, CJ, peace out. Bike Farmer's cool because it's anti-elitist. Yeah. Yeah, having fun on bikes is the vibe I'm usually going for, unless it's a topical video. But the bike ride is always primary, the video is always secondary. Yeah. Unless I'm riding alone. I mean, I do go out and make, like, there are videos where I have something I want to say and I go out and ride and say it, and it's just me alone. It also just gives me something to do when I'm riding alone, especially if you notice I do that a lot more over the winter months when it just makes my ride more interesting. It's like when Terry B live streams. I feel like that's the vibe I'm having in my mind. I'm having a conversation with you guys, even though I don't get to hear the answers back until the video comes out. But would that be pronounced Castellano? Castellano, which is a version of Spanish, Argentinian version of Spanish. I took. Is Edmund over by you? No. Oh yeah, he is. I took 2 years of Spanish, and I took Spanish 2 twice because I didn't do very well the first time, and then for Spanish 3, my Spanish teacher was from Spain, and it was really frustrating because one, as an American, learning Mexican Spanish makes way more sense because that's, who we're way more in contact with. If you're going to use Spanish, chances are it's going to be in Mexico or with people from Mexico. And then so all of a sudden we had all these like different pronunciations and those little nuances, just like American English versus British English. So I don't know. I thought it was weird to have a teacher who leaned into Spanish in Ohio. Dirty River said, e-bikers get people out in weather. Are there winter e-bikes? I think I would destroy most any e-bike in one winter in Ohio commuting. I don't know. Mine, come on. It said I'd have to look. Mine's made to be a commuter. It's built with fenders. It definitely has clearance for studded tires. And it's supposed to be, like I said, it said the water resistance rating, and it was pretty high. But you're right. It would depend. I think a cheap e-bike would get trashed in the winter, but no, you're doing a great job, Pudgy. I didn't know you could. I speak to our Argentinian friends. I appreciate it though, because I can't. Not in this pace, Yeah, cycling, Brian, when I would still get on my road bikes more, like having like nice slick tires definitely are fun to like roll on. With handbell wheels, yeah, I have a set of, what am I running on that? They're all those low spoke count Bontrager wheels, but I don't know. The whole thing feels fast, but Dirty River, don't try and get in on this Spanish talk. Chris McCollum said, B17, I just need a 2x to have Tim bingo. Oh, Benjamin, you said switch to RH Titanium Ridge from Terravale E-Lines. Found your forever tires. What size is that? I can't. Yeah. Oh yeah, Rob, that is a good point. The problem with cold weather is battery range. So you wrap yours up. Yeah. I was saying, too, if you were commuting, you'd be able to probably most likely charge your battery at work as well, right? Just depends on how far you're commuting, I guess. Race lights, yeah, that's what I got. Yeah, oh, the 55s. So the 55s, because I'm running the 55s, and aren't they the Juniper Ridge? I can't remember. Renee Ayers' naming schemes like mean nothing to me. I just talk about them all by the tread pattern or the.
The ones they're talking about are 650s.
Oh, 650. That's why it's got a different name. Yeah. I was just texting Otis about my tires today. Friend of yours was doing fat bike conversions, 1,000 watt or maybe 1,500 watt motors, great range, fast AF. Just keep the spokes tensioned. Yeah, the definitely. And I need to look at the specs, but the one I got, I did notice had a very high spoke count, which makes sense. So. Oh, you said issue. A lot of workplaces won't allow bikes inside, which cancels charging. Depends. Like. The one I have, the battery pops right off, so who knows? It depends on where you work. I assumed you could slip it into a briefcase and charge it on your desk. I think of how myself and my non-rule following self would do things. So. What time we got? Should we wrap it up?
It's getting
10 to 11.
pretty late.
Used bike said if you commute by any kind of bike, you have to be able to trust your coworkers. Same with batteries. Yeah, so yeah, they might unplug them on you on purpose. I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I would worry less about my coworkers than it just depends on where you work and where your bike needs to be left. I have definitely had times where I was going to do a photo job somewhere where I didn't want to leave my Raleigh or my gunner there, and I ride a different bike, and I definitely bring the heavier locks, but that's just life in general. So it really depends on where you live and where you're going. What's the deal with charging starting on fire? Starting on fire. I don't know. I get all these comments all the time, like every e-bike is this crazy fire hazard, and there have been issues, especially with the cheap ones. But the idea that like every e-bike is a crazy fire hazard, I think, is overstated. But it's also like anything. You need to use the right cords. You need to use the ones that were meant for it, and people do stupid stuff also, so it's not always just the bike. So yeah, Otis is all about the slicks, but I adore slick tires, but there's so much glass and off camber stuff to ride on that I have to run some tread. Renee's knobs are amazing, but I've been loving the Schwalbe G1 2.25s for better tubeless. Yeah, a number of people I know have been going with the G1s and really, really digging them. I know a lot from, Dirty River getting them there too. But that's why I said with my gunner, I'm going with the endurance casing next time because I just ride that on so much stupid stuff. So much. Edmund was watching that bug and tripped over the bike stand.
Is that what he's looking at?
Yeah, there's a bug up there he sees. Yeah.
Oh, mosquito.
But any knobs, I mean, people like I said, that's why I don't mind riding them on the road. One, the Renee's ones I feel roll fast, and I think the G1s are the same, but they're also keeping you, that thicker, tread is keeping you off the really shitty road conditions we have around here. Eddie said, yeah, 2 straight flats this week on slicks, beginning to reconsider. And I would rather go with nice, supple, knobby tires than I would with, like what are the Schwabes that everybody likes for touring and, like, city riding. Because all those tires are so stiff, the ones that are slick but, like, give you all that flat protection. I would rather just go with a fast-rolling knobby at that point that has, like, a better ride quality. But, again, 7 dozen one way, a million dozen the other. What is that phrase? A handful the other. Yeah, I haven't. So, Pudgy, I haven't, like, even though this bike is considered fairly reputable, it's a European brand, I have never, like, charged the battery when I'm not around. And I even have this, like, metal tray that I own, and I charge it on that and everything. I'm just being careful because of some of the stories and because of everyone being on high alert about them. The Chevy Bolt, those Chevy Bolts a couple years were recalled because they were catching fires. There's still a sign up in some of the parking decks I park in on the campus sometime, UA's campus, that say no Chevy Bolts. So, yeah. The batteries need to not be bounced around too much or really well suspended. I don't think that's an issue. Yeah, I don't know. Mine is right in the down tube, and it's definitely not a horrible ride, but they put they have thick, like, tires on them. So. Schwalbe Racing 4. Yeah, I'm not familiar with those too much. Nick's Lost, Beer and Bike Talk, or Turbojock Spanish and Lithium Mining. Marathon, Schwalbe Marathons. Can't go that tough, yeah. Yeah, marathons, like, again, and if you're just commuting, they make total sense. Or, traveling through when he rode across the country. I think he made it all the way across the country on one set of marathons. There's definitely something to be said for that. I wear out the Renaers tires so much, and they cost me decent. They're already expensive, and I wear them out faster than I would other tires. But it's one of those things for me. I ride bikes so much that I want that ride quality. But I could definitely see why it wouldn't be for everyone. But it's once you have that, like a nice supple tire, it is hard to go back. Like, even going to the endurance casing on the Gunner, I know I'm going to lose a little bit of that there. But again, I've ripped the sidewalls. I can't run them tubeless anymore. That's just defeats the purpose at that point if you're going to be riding on such rough stuff. So. Yeah, there's Logan. It's been interesting in the Discord. There's been a lot of comments about the battery rating, and a lot of people have said it doesn't matter that much, but still, it is nice to have something certified. So it still seems like it's all over the place right now. The fact that there aren't standards in place for what gets sold is kind of crazy, beyond what seems like a voluntary certification, if I understand correctly. So. Anyone know when the new Gravel Kings will be available? As Otis is still in here, and I know since he buys and stocks them, he might know. So. Used bikes, you think she quit riding it because of the marathons? Midnight Special Review. Me and Otis have talked about riding that bike again with a different setup a little bit, so we'll see. I do still have a bunch of bike footage from when I was riding it all winter, but marathon of nothing. Oh, Common Bird, you popped in here. We were talking about there's a brief doozer side note earlier. Will I be getting any more gray medium Fitzwater t-shirts? So comfy, I need more. I don't know if I'll get them printed in gray again, but these red ones are the same material. I don't know if I have any more, if they're on the site or not. I need to get a bunch of, I am almost out of all the t-shirts except the Gravel Badass ones, and I want to get some more stuff made. It's just Micah has been busy and he's doing a bunch of other projects. So, yeah, I would like to get more stuff in stock, and it would definitely, like all my friends who have bought shirts, that the ones that Micah gets that he screen prints, loves them no matter what the graphics are. So I hear you on that. But yeah. Common Birds, I also loved your, I don't know if I commented anywhere. I know I liked it on Instagram, but you guys put it on YouTube too. The last song you guys put up was awesome. So always impressed with what you guys put out. Did I ever make a command for them? I can't remember if I did. Let's see. Oh, I'm not actually in the chat window. I'm typing that into the internet. I'll just pull it up on YouTube and drop the link. I should just make it Bird so it's simple. God, you guys had to pick a name that's so hard to search too. Okay, well it's good because it comes up on because I've searched it a bunch of times. Where it's just like, where do I get others? Where do I get it? I'm going to put that. I have tried to start using iPhone reminders or Apple's reminders app on my computer too to remember stuff. It's doing all right. It notified me to pay Dave today. I haven't done that yet. I did pay my mortgage though. So yeah, let me add a reminder to make a Common Birds. I also want to, I've been on this list forever to make new emojis and stuff like that and member emojis and all that stuff. But, man, I'm so bad at this. New reminder. Cool. It's done. Well, I can, Pudgy, the thing is the command is simple, but then it says Common Birds with the YouTube link. That's how it would work. Making the command simple, but making the links is good. So, oh, the rim in the background, that's a Velocity Aileron. I got my, the wheels on the Raleigh I had rebuilt with the original hubs, but I had beat those up so bad they wouldn't hold air anymore. So, yeah. So I wanted to keep the rim just because, basically for this, just the YouTube background. So, and I'm a hoarder. I try to fight my hoarder tendencies. Dave was asking me today why I had all these little plant containers, and I think I'm well on my way to be a grouchy old man who's like, I need these boxes, you know. So. Hey, what's up, D'Amico? Go Cat. Yeah, when is the series 2-1? I've been so zoned out on the Cavs because I've been so busy too. Talking about the only sports I've had is pro racing, but yeah, the Cavs crushed those first 2 games of the playoffs, and then they got crushed in the next game. Did it end up being 2-2?
It's 3-2 right now.
3-2? Oh yeah, I forget. This is how old I'm getting too. That the first round of the series used to be 5-game series. You remember that? Or the first round of the playoffs used to be 5 games. Like even in the first year LeBron was, or the first few years LeBron was playing, it wasn't a 7-game series right away.
I don't follow that much to even notice.
House band, if we ever make it to Ohio, yeah. I mean, could you imagine if you made it to Ohio and we got to do like a cycling meetup ride where you guys ended up playing? That'd be so sweet. How did I get so far back here? Yeah, no intent. It's just destroyed. So. I'm having a hard time. I'm drunk. Can you get a t-shirt with room for a hump? I'm asking for a friend. Can I get a t-shirt with room for a view of hell? Oh, man. Oh, that's what D'Amico was saying. They won and I made it 3-2. So. Oh, Otis, you were, after the last bike swap, you were bringing up that constantly, but we haven't talked about it for a while. We should plan another bike ride mixed with the bike swap. Oh yeah, we live streamed the last one. Now we got the Osmo. We could really live stream the wireless mic is built in and everything.
Yeah, POV.
A little POV. Check out a little harness. I wonder if I can convert. Pudgy gave me the harness for the GoPro. I bet there's an accessory that attaches to the quarter 20 mount that I could do that with. And also we could get set up earlier with the bike portraits and more before we start drinking so much. I mean, maybe. Why not both? Pudgy, you gonna come up if we do a bike swap? You're gonna come up and help bike swap it up? More harness, Edmund Cam. What date should we do it in June, Otis? Let's see what I got in June available. Yeah, what about tentatively June 16th? Oh, Wednesday the cat doesn't want to meet Edmund. That makes sense. But I could put Edmund on his little harness and he'd be outside with us. Wednesday would just be inside all jealous. Yeah, I think we always do them on Saturdays, Pudgy. Yeah, because the shop's open, so people go in the shop and also buy stuff. And then Saturday time for a ride after and all that. So. The 16th is the Father's Day is on a Saturday? The Father's Day. Oh, I'm looking at the Sunday. 15th. I'd be thinking 15th. The Father's Day. Now, 22nd, I think, will be the. It won't work because I think we'll do this. We'll probably be doing our Swift camp out that weekend. What?
Pudgy said abort.
Yeah, we should abort. Otis, we could talk about this in IRL, as the kids say. Definitely would be a Saturday, though. So, Racer sold a bike. Nice. So you only have, what, 100 left?
Yeah. 99 left.
99 left? But that bike ain't one? All right. I appreciate that laugh. Oh my God.
That was a good one.
All right. Yeah. Let's wrap it up. I will appreciate all you. No news here. We'll all chat in the Discord. Get in there.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is not
Fitzwater photo.